in the intro of the video, this shoe is basically a mini Alpha 5. Once again, if you haven't seen my Alpha 5 review, link down in the description below. Look for it at the end of the video. But this thing is basically the mini version of the Alpha 5. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the video. So before we jump into today's video, I'd like to say I hope you enjoyed the last video I posted for you guys about the history of the Boston Marathon unicorn. I really enjoyed learning with you guys all about the history of the Boston Marathon unicorn. That its name was Spike. That it has been in the Boston Marathon for 10 years earlier than the marathon even started. Once again, if you guys ever get the chance to run the Boston Marathon, never pass the chance up. If you're trained, if you're ready, if you feel that you can do it, always try, because it might be a chance that you will never get again. Also, shout out to Boston.com for that amazing article, and shout out to I think the author's name was Dwayne Dower, who wrote that article. That was an amazing article. It told us so much about the history of the Boston Marathon unicorn. And yeah, so shout out to them for writing it and publishing it, Boston.com. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, guys, so that's probably going to wrap it up for this first block of the intro. And now it's into our second block of the intro, the topic for today's video. So in today's video, we are going to be, or I am going to be telling you guys my first impressions on, hold on, let me get them for a second. My new spikes that I ordered a few days ago, the Nike Air Zoom Victories. Once again, it is hard to see them with the lighting on these things, but these things are a very industrial spike. They have a carbon fiber plate in them right here. They also have AirPods. This spike is basically like a mini Alpha Fly. If you guys haven't seen my Alpha Fly review, I will link that in the description below. But I mean, the upper is the exact same as the Alpha Fly. The carbon fiber plate and the AirPods are the same. The tread is pretty much the same. It's kind of like a detached tread type thing. So this is basically, and the laces are the same. So basically, it's a mini Alpha Fly. So either way, I will be telling you guys. I think the topics I had were I will be giving you my first impressions, which are basically just guesses on how I think it'll perform and stuff. But I will be giving you my first impressions on the upper, the midsole, the outsole, the tread in the spikes, the laces, the lifespan of these shoes, how long I think they'll last, and their performance, how I think they will perform on the track, the indoor track, and beyond. So yeah, I was really excited to get these spikes, and super excited to share them with you guys. Yeah, guys, so that's probably going to wrap it up for this intro of the video, and now it's into our first block of the video, my first impressions on the Victories upper. Alright, guys, this first block of the video, I'm going to be giving you my first impressions on, hold on, let me get it for a second, the Nike Air Zoom Victories upper. So once again, as I told you guys in the intro of the video, this shoe is basically a mini Alpha 5. Once again, if you haven't seen my Alpha 5 review, link down in the description below. Look for it at the end of the video. But this thing is basically the mini version of the Alpha 5. It has the same laces, the same upper, the same carbon fiber plate, the same AirPods. I mean, everything's, again, slightly smaller because it's a spike, and everything's a little bit lighter. But once again, if this thing is like a mini Alpha Fly, I mean, the Alpha Fly is one of the best, maybe the best road racing shoe for any road racing distance I've raced in ever. So it's one of those things that, like, if this can be a mini Alpha Fly and it turns out to be as good as the Alpha Fly, that'd be impressive. But to start off, let's go with the upper. First off, this upper is super, you can literally, like, see right through it. If I bring it up to the screen enough, you guys can literally see my finger right through the upper, which is crazy because with the Alpha Fly, this is almost a looser upper than the Alpha Fly is, because with the Alpha Fly, you can also see straight through the upper, which is amazing. This upper is super light. It's like not even like, I mean, you guys can see it. It's basically see-through. So it's made with like zero material, and basically, I'm lucky my foot isn't gonna fall out of it because it's made with like literally, I think, just enough material so your foot won't fall out of it. This looks like a really, really breathable upper. Once again, that's just kind of a prediction, but I mean, it's see-through. So if it's see-through, most likely it's gonna be really breathable. and it's gonna have a lot of airflow to my feet. Once again, depending on how much that helps, I have no idea. People just say it helps in a shoe that it's breathable, but once again, no clue. But yeah, so this upper, plus, it's a really nice color, too. I love the, I know you guys can't see it really, but, if you can look really closely, it's kind of like a light green color with an orange Nike symbol right here. So it's a pretty cool upper, along with, being light, breathable, see-through. Yeah, guys, so that's probably going to do it up for this first block of the video, and now into our second block of the video, the midsole of the shoe. Alright guys, in the second block of the video, we're going to be talking about the midsole of the shoe. So the midsole of the shoe will include the foam right here that lines the shoe right here, and also the AirPods right here that are somewhat in the midsole. I'm doing a tread block at close to the end of the video, but I feel like these AirPods are kind of the midsole of the shoe, because they're not really part of the tread like the spikes are, and the tread's kind of its own thing, so I'm going to do the midsole, the foam, and the AirPods. Starting off with the foam, this is Nike's Zoom X foam, so this is what is in all their top-of-the-line racing shoes. It is super soft. I'm squeezing my thumb on it, and it's like, it feels like a cloud. Like, this foam feels like a cloud when you run on it, and it's insane how light and soft and fluffy it is. As you can see, I'm going to consider this, actually, I'm going to leave that, what I'm going to show you, what I was just about to show you for the tread, in the next, few blocks. But again, the foam is super nice. It has a pretty cool design right here, as you guys can see. It's like a wavy design down at the bottom. So it's cool. It's nice. It has that little point at the back of the shoe. If I can, position it right for you guys. It's like a little point. You guys might not be able to see it. But it's like the Alpha Fly, but a lot smaller, obviously. It's a spike. It has to be lighter. It can't have as big of a point. But it does kind of look like the point in the Alpha Fly. Moving on to the AirPods. These AirPods, I haven't tested this spike out yet. You guys are literally getting like the first impressions, because I have not ran the spike at all. So I can't really tell you how the AirPods feel. But they're not quite as squishy as the Alpha Fly ones were. The Alpha Fly ones were super squishy, and I could squish them all easier. Although, I guess, also, when you're trying to save weight on the shoe, when you're trying to not make the shoe weigh more, you also have to make sure the materials are really stuck together. And in the Alpha Fly, there's a lot more room for the AirPods. But in the Victory, as you guys can see, they're longer, but they're also slimmer. So it's like this long one right here, and it's like this little tiny one up here. This one I think is for your toes. So if you land really high on your toes, you get this. But normally you want to land about right here for the midfoot strike. So you're on your toes, but like you're not like insanely on your toes really. Yeah. But yeah, so I like the AirPods. Once again, thin, slim, saves weight. And the foam, squishy, and has an awesome design on it. Yeah, guys, so that's probably going to wrap it up for the second block of the video, and now let's go into our third block of the video, the tread of the shoe. Alright, guys, in this third block of the video, we are going to be, I'm going to be giving you my first impressions on the tread and the, spikes. So once again, this part, you would consider the kind of the outsole, but it's the foam, so I'm more considering it the midsole. So this is going to go along with the foam on the midsole. If you guys really want to see it, I'll just do like a quick outsole recap for you guys. Basically, the outsole is just this. It's like half a sheet of foam with a little like red Nike symbol right here, and as you guys can see, it's not that much. It's kind of just a nice layer of foam underneath to support you. It's basically there so it can hold the tread, but it also has these cool things on here that I'm going to bring along with the tread. So that's your outsole for you. Quick recap, right before the tread and the spikes. So to get into the tread and the spikes, I'm going to start off with these little things right here. So you guys may not be able to see them very well. I'm going to try to position it so you guys can. It's these things right here. These are like little, like tiny spike things. So it's more for like, if you're like a heel striker, you can use these tiny spikes and the back of your spike won't get destroyed. Normally, to get all the benefit out of it, you want to be on your toes and on your, being, like, running on the toes, because that's where you're going to get the grip with the spikes and everything else. But if you're a heel striker, that's basically what that's for. Or every once in a while, you heel strike, the back of your spike won't get destroyed. Moving on to the exciting part, this is basically the tread right here. So if you guys can see, if I position it right with the lighting, it's kind of like a lightish blue type color. It's a really actually cool color because if you guys might not be able to see it, but it actually says you guys might be able to see it. It says Air Zoom right there. It says just Air Zoom right under that little thin coating of plastic for the tread. But yeah, so I really like the tread for the color. It also has once again the wavy lines on it. These wavy lines are kind of just to keep this tread so it doesn't get beat up, or it's not like, or if you miss a spike or something like that, you can run on the tread and it will still have some kind of grip on it. Moving on to the spikes, getting a new pair of track spikes is one of my most favorite things in the world, because you get a new pair of track spikes and you have these really, really sharp, pointy spikes, and you know, okay, I'm ready to take these spikes out, beat them up as hard as I possibly can, and then hope they last as long as possible. Which is kind of fun, because if you compare spikes, you'll notice that these ones, I mean, I haven't run in them yet, so they're super, super sharp, and they're super, super big. But if you compare old spikes, which I will do at some point, the green ones I actually ran into in my national title back in July, those have really flat spikes. They don't really have that much grip on them anymore, which shows how the power of time can affect your spikes. But I think these spikes are going to hold up really well. I think this tread's going to really hold up really well. And I think these back pieces are also going to hold up really well in helping me with my best performance. Yeah, guys, so that's probably, actually, one more thing that I forgot to mention in the midsole. If you guys can see, there's this rigid black plate right here. I did show you guys on this Alpha Fly. Once again, this is the midsole that I forgot to tell you, but I did mention this in the Alpha Fly. This is actually the carbon fiber plate. So if I try to like squish it and everything, it won't squish. If you try to bend the shoe won't bend. So this shoe is very inflexible. I think it's even more rigid than the Alpha Fly is. I think that's just because a lot of the material is slimmed down and kept to minimize the weight of the spike. But once again, that rigid plate right there, as you guys can see, I'll flip it over for you. But I mean, that rigid black plate is keeping the shoe from bending at all. I'm giving it all my might, and I still can't bend. I can only bend the upper, basically. So that carbon fiber plate is also going to help me in my performance. But yeah, tread, spikes, and these ones going to help me in my performance, hopefully. Yeah, guys, so that's probably going to do it up for this third block of the video. And now let's move into our fourth block of the video, how long I think these spikes are going to last me. Alright, guys, in this fourth block of the video, we're going to be talking about the laces of the spike. So sorry I skipped a block last time for you guys. I did say we were going to talk about its lifespan in this block, but I did forget a block about the laces. Once again, the laces aren't that big, but I figured since they're pretty good laces, they're the Alpha Fly laces, I figured I'd talk about them a little bit with you guys. So the laces aren't the most important part of a spike, but they definitely do help. So these laces, as you guys can see, if I put it close to the screen, they have mini ridges on them, which in theory, help or should help keep them together and tied while you're running. The last thing you want to have is be at like one lap to go in like I don't know, like a mile, and have your shoelace come untied, and then get spiked and tripped and finish dead last in the race. So these laces have become really popular with Nike's top of the line running shoes lately. They have definitely put these on more of their running shoes. The Alpha Fly and the Victory both have these laces, and it, in theory, should make them stay together a little bit more. Also, the laces are, once again, super light. These laces are amazing laces. They're not like cheap bad ones. They're pretty decent laces, I have to say so myself. Once again, laces are laces. They're not really like super important, but they can be if they come untied because you have smooth laces, or they don't come untied because you have rigid ones. So yeah, that's probably really all I have to say for the laces. I didn't have much to say for this, but I figured I'd just talk about them a little bit with you guys. Once again, light, have ridges on them, and pretty cool color once again. They're the same color as the upper, the light green, so I really like them. You guys, so that's probably going to do it up for this fourth block of the video, and now let's move into our fifth block of the video, how long I think the Nike Air Zoom Victory Spike will last me. Alright guys, in this fifth block of the video, we're going to be talking about, or I'm going to be telling you guys how long I think the Nike Air Zoom Victory Track Spike will last me. So based on what I just told you guys, I gave you guys a little insight on the upper, the midsole, the tread, and the spikes, and then the laces a little bit. But based on what I've learned about this spike, based on what other YouTubers have said about this spike, I have seen some other videos on this spike saying they're really, really, really good. I have seen some really big name runners wear them in some major competitions. Milrose, 2020 Olympic Games in track and field. So a lot of major competitions, even like the 2020 U.S. Olympic trials. If you haven't seen that series, I will link some of those videos down in the description below. Actually, I have 4 of them, so I will link all 4 down in the description below if you guys haven't seen that Olympic Trials breakdown series. But this shoe was everywhere in 2020, and no one could find it. So I finally got my hands on one, and I am super excited to share. Basically, what I think for the lifespan, based on what I know about the shoe, based on what I think about the shoe, I'm hoping this shoe will last me 1.5 to 2 years. This shoe is a 7. It's a little big for me right now. I have a little toe space in the top of the spike. But as of what I can predict, I think this shoe will last me between 1.5 and 2 years. At least, I want it to last me about a year and 2 to a year and 4 months. Hopefully, at the very least, a year to a year and a half. But I'm really hoping I can get 2 years or even maybe a little more than 2 years out of these spikes. These are very expensive spikes. They cost me $180. So I'm really hoping they last me about 1.5 to 2 years, or maybe even more than 2 years, maybe even 2.5 or 3 years. But who knows? So based on what I think it'll last me 1.5 to 2 years, maybe 2 to 3 years, somewhere between there. Who knows? But what I think, 1.5 to 3 years. You guys, so that's probably going to wrap it up for this fifth block of the video. And now let's move into our sixth and final block of the video, how I think this spike will perform on the track. Alright guys, in the sixth and final block of the video, I'm going to be discussing with you guys how I think this spike will perform on the track. So I'm going to be talking about how I think this spike will perform on the indoor and outdoor track. Once again, indoor and outdoor different conditions. I'm going to be discussing how I think the spike will perform in different kinds of weather and different kinds of conditions, places, and so many other factors. So let's get right into it. So for this spike, I think based on what I know about the analytics and the statistics and the data we have on this spike, and based on what people have said in general, Nike has said it, other running YouTube stars have said it, this spike performs really, really well. Once again, it is $180. It is kind of pricey. So, once again, that's just typical for Nike's top of the line shoes. They're not going to be cheap. They're not, sadly to say, Nike is really expensive. It's a really, really expensive company, and you need a little bit of, at least a decent amount of money to get these shoes. So once again, but yeah, so that's that. Nike's a pretty expensive company, so you need a good, decent amount of money to get a good performance-enhancing shoe. But for this shoe, in weather conditions, I think this shoe is going to perform best in sunny conditions. In rainy conditions, any spike is going to get hurt because the spikes are going to dig into the ground more. They're going to dig into the track more. It's going to make it harder. They're going to become more damp, and it's just going to make it harder. This shoe, this upper, the problem with this upper is it's light, but it also lets in water. So that's why this shoe is probably not going to be good for the rainy conditions. But once again, maybe it is. Maybe I just think it's only because it has a different type of upper. But yeah, I think it's going to be best for sunny conditions, not rainy conditions. I think it can perform well on a wet track, but when it's raining out, I don't think this is going to perform very well. Again, this spike, in different places, tracks are the same kind of, so there's not much to talk about there. But yeah, so the weather's really the only part I have to talk about. With other people, when you're in a pack with this spike can definitely enhance you, because once again, it has the carbon fiber plate in it, it has the air pods in it, and it has I have sharp long spikes in it. So this is definitely an enhancing shoe. It's the best spike I've ever had, based on what I think. Again, personal opinion, based on what I think, it's the best spike I've ever had. The foam is really squishy and soft. It's super, super light. The upper is amazing. The tread's really nice. These treads in the back right here, those are also really nice. And the laces are really nice too. So is this little pad inside. This is the part where your foot goes. So it's like, I think it's called the insole. But we didn't really do a review on that, because I didn't really need to. But yeah, so I think this spike will perform really well. I think this spike is definitely a spike that could help me if I go to Junior Olympics, or I have some major competitions. I think this spike is going to be very beneficial to me, and I think I'm really going to like it. Yeah, guys, so that's probably going to, so once again, I personally think the spike is going to perform really well. Once again, personal opinion. Maybe you guys think differently. But based on what I think, based on the data we have, based on what people say, I think this shoe is going to perform really well and will help me definitely when I go on the track in indoor in a few weeks to run some meets, and in outdoor when we get back to the outdoor track. Yeah, guys, so that's probably going to wrap it up for the sixth and final block of the video, and that's probably going to wrap it up for today's video. Alright, guys, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoyed listening to me give you guys my first impressions on the Nike Air Zoom Victory track spike. Once again, I think this shoe is going to perform really well in the future. I think it's going to have a pretty decent lifespan, between 1.5 and 3 years. And I loved the upper, the midsole, which also includes the carbon fiber plate and the AirPods, and the tread and the spikes. The nice light blue tread I really loved. These two white treads in the back for when you heel strike a few times every now and again. And the sharp spikes that I'm ready to use. I'm ready to get on the track. I'm ready to test these things. And I'm ready to beat them up until they reach their limits. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I really did enjoy sharing all my thoughts on this shoe with you guys, how long I think it will last, how it performed. And yeah, and I really enjoyed all the criteria I have with you guys. I also enjoyed sharing what the shoe was made of, how it's basically a mini Alpha Fly at this point. So that was amazing. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. Stick around with today's quote, and you guys are going to love it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have fun, keep running, and peace out, guys. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the video. So before we jump into today's video, I just have to say, I hope you enjoyed the last video I posted for you guys about the history of the Boston Marathon unicorn logo. I really enjoyed sharing with you guys all the information I found all about that logo. It was super interesting to share with you guys all the history behind it. That it is one of the biggest. Shoot, I missed. All right, guys. This first block of the video, we're gonna be I'm gonna be. Oh my God. All right, guys. This first block of the video, we're gonna be talking about how long I think the Nike Air Zoom Victory spike is going to last me. So now that I've given you guys a taste. Whoops. All right, guys. This sixth and final block of the video, we're gonna be I'm gonna be discussing how I think this spike will perform on the track, and this includes Alright, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed listening to me why do I keep messing up on this?